in a continent known in the common tongue as Neokos. And this is the city of Kayama.
Welcome, adventurers. Ask and you shall find.
Neokos is a vast continent, with a host of different folks and riven by conflict.
Are we truly ready for this? We know so little about Neokos.
A taste of the land's limitless power can corrupt even the noblest of intentions. This has been a sad truth since the dawn of the world.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Okay, so was just gonna check the microphones levels. By the way, if you guys have any issues with the sound level, just let us know because and apparently I just realized something. The trailer is also making sound, so I'm just gonna remove the trailer sound. Hey, so yeah, just let us know in the chat if the sound quality is not quality, but let's say the audio level is not good. But otherwise, it should be good. We just had a little accident earlier on. Well, I think we just unplugged one of the microphones, so hopefully
I stretched my legs. I should not.
All right, sounds like we're good. So
Excellent.
that's perfect. Okay, so welcome to the stream, everyone. Happy to see you all here. So for those who don't know, because some of you may be joining us after this super, Galaxies trailer that we just released, we are here today with Mathieu. Mathieu, who are you? Can you give us a little bit of?
Hello, I'm the founder of the studio. I'm also leading as a creative director for the vision of the game. Basically, since Solasta 1, people have been working to make my favorite toy, so that I can play it with myself and my friends when it was Solasta 1 in multiplayer. So anyway, I'm working on the project with the rest of the team to make the best game possible.
Mathieu is one of the person who actually worked on implementing a lot of the rule set, especially for the multiple classes, feats, and all that kind of thing. And he also does quite a lot when it comes to UI, right?
Yes, that's my two main fields.
Yeah. And then we have also today coming with us that you don't see like that often in the community streams. We have Pierre. Pierre, you are?
Hey everyone. So I'm the marketing guy, just making sure that everyone knows about our great game, and thanks to actually you as well, because you're part of the team.
Yes.
Just making sure that the community is well fed with the right information, making sure people actually know what they need to know when they need to know about the game.
Because releasing a game today is not just about making a good game. Unfortunately, there's a lot that has to go, and that you have to get the game to the people so that they actually get to know that we exist. So very, very hard work that Pierre is doing, and we all thank him a lot for that. Any question that will have to do with the release or consoles, anything like that, he's usually the one handling it. So for those who don't know me, I am Emil. I am the community lead, and usually I'm the one holding those community streams. It's usually not that high of a production value. We just sit down and talk about the game while either showing a little bit of the game, which we're gonna do today for the first time, because so far we've only been showing the demo. This is the first time we'll actually show you the real game, that part of what the early access would look like. Although it's still very much work in progress. That has to be said right now. The game that you're going to see today, it has been basically it's a Steam build, so we downloaded from Steam, and it is not stabilized. That's something we're working on. So it's not meant to be sent to people. So that's why if it crashes, if you find people flying around and any kind of weird bug, that is normal. That is a game being developed.
And so, also on top of the stabilization, there's a lot of polish we want to apply to the game. So it's not only bugs, it's also we have the time to fine tune and improve some stuff.
Exactly. So for example, Pierre, can you remind everyone what date we announced so far for early access?
So we're super thrilled to finally be able to announce the release window. So the release window is officially early 2026.
Exactly. So I know that some of you in the chat have been asking, maybe they're going to reveal the release date today. No, that's a little bit too early. There's a reason why in the trailer we only said early 2026 because we don't want to be more specific than that right now. So what we're going to do first, before we go into showing you the world map, is that, as we said earlier, we're going to take your questions. So we're first going to answer a few questions, and then we are going to move on to the world map. So don't worry, if you have more questions later, we'll still answer questions. It's just that we will be focusing here first on the questions before moving on, because some of you may have some very, very burning questions right now. So if you asked questions in the past before we have started now, it is possible that I may not have seen them. So don't hesitate to just ask them again. It is absolutely normal. So I see first question saying early. Does that mean Q1?
Well, it is something that I'm happy to sort of address. Q1 is like a super markety, business term that we were not super comfortable to put in the trailer. So, but to be super honest today, I think, yes, we can say that Q1 is definitely targeted. Yeah, that's exactly the window that we're targeting.
So
But we won't say more precisely what
Don't try to fish more than that.
Please bear with us on this one. You'll have the information soon.
So I see a question going, how much did BG3 influence the development of Solasta 2? I think this one I can talk a bit briefly, and then I will, also give it to Mathieu afterwards because he might have other opinions. BG3 is a very massive game, right? And we're not ostrich. We don't put our hand in the sand. So we've played BG3 quite a lot.
We loved it.
Yes, a lot of us have completed it. Some of us have played not to the completion, but have played, and I think some of you will absolutely relate to that. Some of us have played the Act 1 6 times and never finished the game because we just re-roll afterwards and we're like, oh, what if I do a barbarian instead? Or I want to see those scenes. But there's a lot of good stuff in BG3, and there's a lot of stuff that don't really fit well with Solasta either. So it is a very interesting game for us to learn from and also look at, but it doesn't mean that we have, and doesn't mean that we want to copy everything that they do, even though it's a great game, because Solasta and BG3 have a little bit of difference in their DNA, and I think Mathieu, you know that better than anyone.
Yeah, so again, BG3 was a great game, and most of us played it and even completed at least once in the studio. I was part of them. That being said, it's true, we have a different focus, I would say. It's still a 5e game, of course, but I would say we have the focus on a full party assembly, where you balance your party the way you want. So I guess there's a lot of creativity in that respect for the player to make the perfect party. And people have been known in Solasta 1 to try again the game with different setups and different characters. So for people who are really fan of tactical tabletop gaming, I think it's a strong game. And yes, the tactical battle has been a strong suit for Solasta 1. We want obviously to keep on that for the second game. I hope we did it right, but so far it seems that yes. And of course we have our own universe. So even though we're not a fully licensed D&D game, so Solasta is our own baby that we created, nurtured, and expanded for Solasta 2. So again, I think it's two complementary games. One of the games is a huge game developed by a huge team, so it has also a huge depth. We cannot commit to having such a depth in our game, but again, we are offering something different. And I think that what we're going to show today with the world map is really a unique feature, which goes a long way into the tabletop references, so we can speak in length about that later on.
Something that I would like to add, because you told about the size of the team, maybe the newcomers do not know how big we are. We're very passionate, but we are less than 40 people internally. When for Larian Studios, you can count hundreds.
I think at their peak, there were 800. So you can see that there's quite a little bit of a difference of size, meaning that we want to release a absolutely kick-ass game. But yes, you're not going to be having a story that's 200 hours long. so on this one, we cannot compete. Just like Mathieu said, you'll see that there's a lot of things that we do differently, and the world map is one of them that we're going to show today. But one of the things that Solasta 1 players know very well is that we are not doing the main hero with companions approach, which is BG3, which is Pathfinder, but we're doing full party. And this time, we even pushed the story even further, where Solasta 1, we had 4 random adventurers meeting up in the tavern, which was, classic, but that basically meant like companions of fortune. This time, we are playing a adoptive family. So we didn't go too much in detail. We already mentioned that in the demo and in our website. But you will see in the coming month, when we reveal more things about Solasta 2, that there is quite a lot behind that party that you're going to create. Okay, so I'm going to check a little bit of other questions. So I see some questions about the 2024 rule set. I think we talked a lot about it already, so I'm not going to go back to it right now. If you're curious, we have written quite a lot of articles about that from this summer. I see Hexblade Warrior. As a reminder, we are SRD 5.2. Hexblade is not in the SRD. That means we cannot do that. And in the Solasta 2 universe, what we're going to do in the game, we're going to do homebrew subclasses, right? Mathieu have even coded them.
I think we have mostly homebrew subclasses. Maybe we have just
one. I think it's Life Cleric, right?
From the SRD.
Yeah.
But again, it's an opportunity, since we have our own universe, to create subclasses which fits the lore and which resonates with what we're trying to show in terms of existing magic and factions and etc. So I think it's a chance for us, and if we need to do more and to do all the SRD subclasses in the future, maybe. But right now we've looked at originality, or also some of the content which was appreciated in Solasta 1, so it's going to be a good mix, I think.
Yeah, we have, at the moment, the plan is one subclass from Solasta 1, the one of the homebrew, and one new subclass that is linked to Neokos in some way in the lore. Okay, so I see a question that I will give it to Pierre, and Mathieu, you might also bounce on that afterwards. Sure. It's some people have seen the word Kepler in the trailer, and they are curious about how is Kepler helping us in Solasta 2.
Okay, you can think of as Kepler as a big brother helping us doing what we were able to do on Solasta 1, just better, stronger, with more resources. It's more this kind of relationship that we have. We maintain full creativity and last decision on the content of the game, on when we should do things, the priorities in the production.
And the game is self-financed, as we used to.
Yeah, absolutely. But when it comes to publishing, you can imagine it's marketing, communication, selling on the different platforms, talking to consoles or different partners. They are helping, making sure that we do that in the right conditions. We're doing this faster than if we were alone to do that on our own. So it's more a helpful hand.
Mathieu, did you want to add something on this? Or?
Yeah, I would say I totally agree with Pierre. It's more like Kepler is a loudspeaker for us, allowing us to have a stronger voice, a bigger voice, and also they have expertise, in marketing, but also in other fields like technology, or there are lots of good people helping us on the game, so it's a great partnership, and we're very happy with it.
I remember you telling us back then, it's like being indie, and we all felt about it, especially because we're marketing, is being indie is kind of tough these days to make yourself heard. Even if you do like a good game, you need to have the platform so that people can see that the game is good and actually get it.
And Kepler actually has a twofold model. There are a group of studios, actually, maybe a few of them, some French ones like Slow Clap, that were able to develop Sifu, and actually they released Rematch recently. But also Ebb Software, if you guys are in for more alien driven art direction. Scorn was actually a game internally developed by Ebb. So that's just a couple of examples. There are more. You can check on their website. But they're also helping developers that do not have marketing teams 2 released their game, and the latest, most successful one is Expedition 33.
Yes.
So Clair Obscur Expedition 33 was part of Kepler involvement in terms of publishing.
Okay, so let me check. We got we got a question for GOG. What we can say so far is GOG is not planned for early access, right?
No, not for early access.
Yeah.
It's something that we are. It's always hard to sort of plan so much in advance when it comes to 1.0 because we already have a great early access to release. But GOG, if we are able to do it, would come at a later date, probably around or after 1.0.
I see a question that is for Mathieu. Burning question. Ready action. Do we have it in Solasta 2?
Yes, we have it in Solasta 2. It's been implemented a few months ago. So we already fixed some of the bugs because of the ready action. So I guess it's going to be in. And as it was stated by Mizrim on Discord, it's slightly different from Solasta 1. It's more adaptive, I would say, because instead of saying I want to ready something and then the game asks you what you want to ready, is it an attack, is it a spell? For many actions, actually, like casting a spell, making an attack, instead of validating the action, you say ready action. And then the game is going to react and do the stuff. So launching the attack, casting the spell, etc. So it's much more adapting to the context of the situation.
There's more basically that you can ready. In the past, I remember Solasta 1 was melee attack, range attack, or cantrip. And the cantrip was, I think you could select a cantrip, but there was like a very limited selection. But with this new system, you could say, I want to cast magic missile, but I don't see anyone, and I can just ready my magic missile, and the first moment an enemy drive by, he's gonna be taking 3 magic missile in the face.
The only caveat is that we still had to red light the action, which should not be readyable. So we've seen most of them, but it's possible that even in early access, when you try to ready, I don't know, a dodge action or something, it's not supposed to be there. But anyway, let us know. But we've removed some of the weird cases already.
I mean, early access, as you know, will have some wonky bugs. That's part of the contract. It's like
the beauty
of it. Yes, let's say it like this, right? So there will be probably ready action that will break the game because it will make something really weird. If you find those, let us know so that we can. Okay, well maybe that doesn't work. Do you already know if it's going to be like AoE, like fireballs will be readyable, or is that maybe a little bit too...
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think it's mostly directed attacks.
Okay, so single targets and...
Maybe later on, yes.
Okay.
Find something
we don't want to over-complexify. We wanted to have an option that is more tactical than on the first game, so more selective as well. But AoE is always a bit more tricky.
Okay, let's see. Are we going to... Okay, are there... Oh, okay. No, I think what we're going to do now is that we're going to start showing the world map because we've been talking for quite a while. So let's move to the world map. Okay, can everyone see the world map? Let's see if everyone's...
There is a tiny...
Can you rotate the camera to prove that it's real?
Yeah, it is real. We're not showing a video. It's not a screenshot.
It's not a screenshot.
Okay, so people see it. So we got this world map here. There's a lot to unpack because, of course, this is the first time we're showing it to people. And not to mention showing it in-game. That is not a video that's pre-recorded. So...
And it is working progress.
It is working progress, of course. As you can see, the water is still very rough. The clouds are also kind of like here, but they're very, very blocky. So don't worry. A lot of things you'll see here today are getting polished, are getting worked on, and this I think is already like 2 or 3 weeks old as a build because as we're saying, we're developing, so new builds are made constantly, but new builds are crashing constantly because we're testing one thing, we're not necessarily focusing on others. Mathieu, can you let us know a little bit more about, for those who don't know, what is this on the bottom?
I was going to start at the beginning for the world map to tell how I was designed and conceived. So for those like me or like us who spend a lot of time on tabletop RPGs and maybe traveled on hexagonal maps, having random events, stuff like that, because your GM was inventive to tell you stories. this is the feeling we want to convey. We want to replicate this traveling and discovering the unknown. We had a world map in Solasta, but it was rather static, and you were moving from node A to node B. There were some random encounters, but here the idea is that every hexagonal cell is going to be a small adventure, possibly. So we wanted to have something close to this tabletop feeling. So we started from hexes. So maybe we can show the design of the map.
Oh, you wanna show already?
Yeah, they also start from the beginning.
Okay. So we're gonna show you a few things.
If you thought that was work in progress, now the next one is going
So we knew we wanted to create a new continent.
Yes.
Xavier and our game director and the narrative team, they built what would be the continent, and then they started creating this basic shape and the environment we wanted to have.
So I'm showing the image right now, like which is the biome and the region, the old, and we even have like the printed version here.
So this was edited in a software called Miro that some of you know, which has an hexagonal layout system. So it really allowed us to give a shape. For example, we're not going to show exactly what's inside, but it's going to be a surprise. Let's just say that yes, you're going to start in Kaerma, which we introduced in the Galaxies trailer, which is the top of the north of the continent, and the idea was to funnel the player so that he doesn't go in all directions for the first hour of the game. So it's this peninsula was meant as a simple way to enter and discover Neokos. So anyway, we designed on paper with a bunch of different biomes, so desert, mountains, plains, the forest, etc. And then we started to think how we would put that into the game actually. So here we have a printout of this.
I'm gonna show you it like
yes.
here.
It's gonna change the screen.
Yeah. As you can see here, this is the final version. So don't try to zoom too much. Don't spoil yourself on what exactly it is.
So once we had edited this map, we started to add points of interest and roads and stuff, and then it was really. And we started. We stuck it on the walls to get used to it, understand what was the game about, the campaign, what you were going to discover, etc. The next step was to inject that into the game. And
okay, you want me to show you the little video? Okay.
So we built this editor. So it's an hexagonal editor where it's built in Unreal in the same technology with which we create the game. And so it's very simple. You have hexagons with different biomes. So here we put coast hexagons, and then you're going to progressively fill it. I don't see much here, sorry. Yes, it's yellow now. Okay, good. Okay, so first a coastal outline. So you have the hexagonal coordinates on the editor, so it's very easy to understand exactly where you are because it's a classic in a hexagonal edition. First you fill with different biomes. Maybe some of the peaks will be impassable on the map. Some of the biomes are going to impact your movement on the map. We're going to see that in the game later on. And on the second step, we can add connectors, like you can add rivers. So we choose to have rivers in between hexes so that they act as a frontier, preventing you possibly to go from hex A to hex B. And then we also have roads and bridges which go across hexes. And obviously, this is a bit ugly. This is not the final rendering, but this is meant to edit the data in the engine of the world map. So I guess you understand where we're going, is that we want to have a fully procedural world map in 3D and not something which is hard created like we did in Solasta 1. So in Solasta 1, we had 3 world maps. And that's what you had. You didn't have also. Even for modding, people were limited to the 3 world map we did.
Exactly.
We're not speaking of modding today, but I just want to say that with this tool, we're not burning any bridges. And again, the idea is that, for example, if the designer changed their mind and they want to have more desert in this part, they just edit it and it's going to be generated in 3D into the game.
So the interesting part here is that, as Mathieu said, in Solasta 1, we had Thierry, our art director, draw the map directly. So if we wanted to change a mountain, they would need to like redraw the map. Here, it's like we put this in the tool, and then because we have other people making the transition from this little map that you're seeing here to what you're actually going to see in-game, we can easily change the layout. And that is something that is really great because when it comes to early access and balance and all that kind of thing, it gives us a lot more flexibility that we didn't necessarily have in Solasta 1.
The only caveat is that with a procedural generation, it's hard to make something which looks good.
Yes, we've passed a long time,
when you do something which is hard drawn and designed, it's easy to make the geometry nice and maintain. In our case, we have to use these biomes and generate 3D shapes, etc. And we have to make them work when connecting two axes together. So you're going to see that in the world map in the 3D.
So we're going to move back to the actual. Sorry about this. That's not it. We are going to. Exactly. So we're moving back to the actual game here, as you can see, because in the past, like Mathieu said, you can imagine that when you connected land to water, there was no transition. It was just like just green and then blue. You can now see that because we have tech that made it possible to it look better. Like Mathieu said, it's like
talented artists, talented programmers, talented technical artists.
Exactly.
And we're using different softwares to create this procedurally generated geometry.
Yeah, visuals.
Sorry, I did not find the acronyms of PCG, but I guess maybe it's procedurally constructive or constructive geometry.
It is something like this.
It's PCG, but anyway, you can see that on one cell you have the outline of the coastline, which is lightly drawn. You have vegetation, which is added randomly, not too much, not too few, depending on the type of biome. And you can move the mouse around the different cells to see what kind of biome this is. So we have grassland, we have coast, and they each have different movement costs, meaning that your party is not going to move as fast on forest than on plains, for example. So to get back to your initial questions, Emil, yes, the control at the bottom is how you monitor how many movement points you have. So it may seem strange because the regular move is on the right, the force march is on the left, but we actually did some playtesting and it's the logical way. So when you click on the next to leave KMR, it's going to spend some movement points. So you have regular move, and basically there's like 4 watches in the daytime where you can move without any danger without any danger of exhausting yourself.
Yes.
And then there's force march, meaning that if you want to push a bit more because you want to arrive at this destination in certain time, if there is maybe, I don't know, a marker which disappears if you go fast enough. Anyway, this can be a motivation to do force march and to spend yourself. But each time you do that, you spend force march to move to a cell. There's a risk of adding exhaustion levels.
Yes, we're gonna show that.
But anyway,
so we're gonna be moving around a little bit. As you can see, this was 2 of movements, not only 1, because it's not on the road. So and here, as you can see, it says, be careful, you're gonna go in force march because we have 5 out of 8. So 1 is gonna be regular move and 1 is gonna be eating to force march. So it just tells us, be careful, that's gonna happen. You might get exhausted, and if you play D&D, you know that exhaustion levels can be very devastating, especially in combat.
Yeah, so what is the consequence of force march?
So we actually Fofi failed the constitution check. So there's now it's different in 2024 compared to 2014, and now each exhaustion level it's -2 to all rolls.
All D20 rolls, and also you're slowed.
And -5/5 to speed. Sorry.
Exactly. So it's a little bit less bad than 2014, but it does stack up. So for the moment, as you can see, we have no more movement, so we're going to take a long rest. We're doing a little resting here. As we said, work in progress still. You can see that Fluffy is no longer exhausted because we did a long rest. It's all good.
There was a pop-up saying that the party has found some food.
Yes.
But let's explain that later.
Okay, so we're going to look at the screen here, and this is actually the new things that we have in Solasta 2 with the free exploration. Okay, so first of all, you see the characters are floating in the air. That is normal. That is because we haven't put them properly yet. We're still polishing. And especially right now, it's a dev playground. So we're doing the events ourselves. So you may see English that's not very proper. It's normal. We are writing them. We have like yet to have like the passes for the riders and all that kind of thing. So what is this and why is it important for us? This is because, sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to say that the rationale behind this layout is that in some games, when you have exploration or travel, you have a pop-up window with a small illustration in black and white. It's I would say it's a classic for some tabletop games. It would have restricted us to a number of limited events because we would have to come up with a special image for each. The choice we did was to have as many events as possible in the game. So have basically game design and text. And then procedurally generate a situation as we've seen on the screen. So the idea here is to have, in a nice way, in an immersive way, as many world events as possible. But maybe you can continue.
Yes. So as Mathieu has said, if we were going to do 2D illustration, we would be limited by the number of illustration we can draw from our limited size of the team. As a reminder, 35 people and much less artists. So instead, these, just like the the map that we've seen in our tool, we make a map, and in 3D we see the map looking much better. This here, the events are going to show you a scene, which we call diorama, I think, in ours. And it is adaptive to the biome you're in. So for example, here the event happened on the coastline, so you get to see a little scene on the coastline. So you'll see later, because we'll show events on different places, that those little scenes will adapt to the forest, to the grasslands.
Also to the time of day.
And to the time of day. For example, here we are not in force much, so we're during the day, so you're looking at the bright sun. But when the events are in the night, you'll see that the lighting changes a lot. Equally, we can adjust the scenes, the events to only trigger, for example, for in certain condition. Some events only trigger by the coastline because it talks about boats and stuff like this. So it doesn't make sense to have this event trigger in the forest. Similarly, you will have events that only trigger during the night. For example, you're preparing to make camp and something approaches. So that is not really making sense during the day. So
also some events can connect to our internal database.
Exactly.
Meaning that if you spoke to this person, then it can trigger the event, and not only in this case. And our database is what we use on the global game actually to trigger, understand situation, unlock them, etc. So it works as well.
React to what the players did.
Yes. So that is something that is an addition to Solasta 1. If you remember Solasta 1, the only encounters you would have were combat encounters. We discussed this a lot. Solasta 1 actually, we wanted to have more than combat encounters, but we didn't have the time back then. So we released it with only combat encounters. Solasta 2, because we have a lot of exploration, we wanted to add a lot more situations. It's not just let's fight. So you'll have a lot of little events like this. Sometimes it is almost inconsequential, it's lore, it's like interesting, you get to learn more about the world. Sometimes it's like a few skill checks, you could have some bad outcome, like you could get exhausted if you fail. You could also find items or rations. You could even, we have thought of that in the future, have like wandering NPCs or merchants. And of course, you'll also have random encounters with sometimes the ability to like maybe ambush them, or you get ambushed. According to the dice roll, you'll see that there's text on the left, the name of the event, and there's the choices you have on the right. Sometimes these events lead to combat or other things. Sometimes we can just say, okay, I want to leave. The reason I'm leaving here is because we're not going to show any combat today. Still a lot of things moving on, so moving pieces. So we don't want to show too many things. But there is a lot of different events, and you'll see that if we keep on moving, sometimes it's going to trigger. Let's see if...
Just a thing, as you can see on the bottom right, there's a forage symbol here. And previously there was a pop-up saying that the party has managed to forage some food. So in this case, you will not need to spend your rations or... because basically you don't need to spend any because someone in the party has found enough food for the rest of the characters. So the system is also planned for spells which provide food but which are not present in the game right now. But obviously it will display, for example, when it's ready, if you have create food, the spell, and you have not foraged and you don't have any rations, well, the priority would be for the least costly element, which is casting a spell. Also, a small change we did compared to Solasta, we've simplified the ration system so that now a ration is enough food for the full party.
Yes, we don't have 4 rations.
So if you have 3 rations only, you're not going to nightmare. So earlier you were seeing a number of available rations. It was simply seeing how many long rests you have
per party for the party. Yeah. So because you'll see that when we're doing hex crawl, there is a lot more days, because it's like a lot of places take a lot of time to go through. You'll have a lot more long rests, which is also why foraging will help. Having a ranger with high, I think it's survival stats, right? Or having, like you said, a druid that knows good berries, the one spell that everyone uses. So yeah, let's see if we can trigger some more events, because sometimes this is completely RNG related.
There's a few more elements we can.
You want to talk
here.
about?
For example, you see there's different patterns on the labels on the different locations. Obviously, the pinkish squares, it's temporary. It's not
final.
It's not final. But yes, some the Sentinel and Kayama have this reddish pattern. It symbolizes a faction, actually.
Yes.
While the old C-class building does not belong to any faction. So this is how we make the player understand that this continent belongs to different groups of factions, actually. Also, you can see on top of some of the labels the services provided or the special features that you have in this location.
You can also see that there's an active quest, so when you're kind of like lost on the world map running around, because it's going to be huge, right? Like, we're not showing you everything, but this is, if you remember a little small island we showed in the little map that we've shown in the drawing. This is the little island.
This is the tip of Neokos.
Exactly, and Neokos, we're not going to show any. I don't think we can. Can we move? Oh no, we can't move. So it is quite large. So during the early access, you won't be able to go everywhere. Oh, you can see some mountains here through the clouds. But you'll see you'll have like a small share of the island, and then during the full game, you'll have a lot more places to go to.
The mountains you showed were actually peaks. So they are impassable.
Okay, so you won't be able to.
So sometimes you have to find the right way. It can be a small adventure in itself to go from point A to point B.
So okay, so let's see if we can trigger some more events. Like I said, it's completely RNG. So sometimes we are lucky and sometimes we're not. Oh, then now we're lucky. So as you can see, we have an event in the woods during the night. So you can see that the lighting have changed, the scene have changed, and the background have changed. You can also see that the character is lying up to nothing right now, but that is, again, normal because we're still adjusting a lot of this. So here you can see that the traveling encounter is just a fellow wanderer. It's saying that this has a very few, like rough days, so as you can see here, this is not going to be a combat encounter. It's just going to be like a skill check here. It is going to be like a charisma skill check. We can see here we succeeded, and that means, hey, you get to like share a few discussions, blah, 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 and so on.
Just a thing also, it's not showing here because I don't think your characters have any of these spells, but there are some spells you can cast during dialogues, so cutscenes.
Like guidance.
And also in world events. So guidance or maybe enhance ability or another one. I think the new fighter tactical mind power can be activated if is the one answering the question. So again, you can improve your chances of succeeding on the reaction with this.
Yes. So that is one thing that we didn't have in Solasta 1, if I remember, and that is something that people asked for.
We had.
Okay, never mind.
You could launch some powers, yes, but maybe not guidance.
So now you don't have to say, oh, I know that I'm gonna go into dialogue. I need to cast guidance on my character. Now it's gonna be there. So we can.
Are there any questions on that?
True. Okay, so we've shown a little bit. We've walked a little bit. Let's see if there's any questions. So, guys, if you have any questions, just go again and ask them, because so I see. Is there a permadeath mode? No, right? Because actually, wait. What do you mean by permadeath? Is a character still in combat? They're gone forever. That doesn't work, right?
No, because you play a party, so if someone dies, it's game over unless you can revive or reload the save game. So
exactly,
you have to stick together.
Imagine that the story is about like 4 brothers and sisters, and it's just like oh yeah, 3 of them just died, but it's okay. Bob is gonna replace them, right? Like we're just gonna create 3 more people. I know that in tabletop there are ways that you can play with your DM to fill the story in, but this is not something that we can do because we're not at your table, we're not at your PC saying let me just change the story for you. So unfortunately, it is a PC game. We need to give some semblance of continuity. So this is not the type of game we're doing.
And I think you will understand that when you play the start of the early access, the way the family, the party is created.
It's bound together. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. How to get access to early access? Pierre, how do we get access to early access?
Oh, okay. So the early access is going to happen on Steam and solely on Steam. Pretty much like on any other games that go into early access, you're going to be able to buy it.
Yeah.
So we already have a store page. If you want to wishlist it to be notified when we go to early access, now is the moment.
And remember, guys, if you want to support developers, make sure you wishlist their game because this does impact the visibility they have on the store page. Absolutely. So that is, even if you don't have money or stuff like that and you want to support people that you like, this is always a choice that you can make. I see.
Can you just perform a long rest so that the view is clearer, it's bright?
Oh yeah, because right now it's very, very dark, right? The screen. You're right. Let people see the map while we're yapping. So one question, very easy one that's not linked to the world map is, are weapon masters going to be part of the game?
Yes, it's implemented already.
Yeah. So you'll see that in early access. It's one of the...
It may be bugged still, but it's in. I implemented it myself, so yeah.
We've seen some funny bugs, like for example, we've seen that cleave at the moment could cleave onto dead people. So you could cleave a corpse that's already dead. Stuff like this, but it's like small things. It is normal. Will it be open world? It is you can roam around the map, so it is open world in that sense. But the story still has it has a beginning, it has an end. It's a little bit less like, let's say, Skyrim or Oblivion. You still have a very strong storyline, and some location might be blocked if you don't follow that story. But you'll still have a lot more freedom than Solasta 1.
Yeah, it's free roaming.
Free roaming, let's say that. True. So, question. I think we can answer this one. So, how are we linked? How are we tied to Wizard of the Coast, considering we're using, D&D 2024 rule set? I think we're pretty.
We have no ties.
Exactly.
We have a relationship with them. We speak from time to time, but for this game, there's no connection.
Business-wise, we don't have any contract or whatever because it is SRD 5.2, and we're only using the SRD 5.2 content.
And they're aware.
And it's there.
They're aware of what we do.
Yeah, it's not secret. Like Mathieu said, Pierre and Mathieu often speak with them to give them an update about how the game is going because they're also curious. Will there be a weather cycle like rain or snow, Mathieu?
Not for early access, I think, but it was part of the design discussions. But I don't know how far we want to go. But the idea would be that maybe some. Because we don't see it here, but there are some regions, and maybe some regions were affected by an effect like the weather, etc. So that you understand that it's going to be tricky to go there, or harder to move to that region. But probably not in early access, but maybe later
on. So there's a question here, but I think this will be balanced because again we are still very much playing around with world map. One person asked, what is the view range on the hex map? Do you need to be one hex next to another to reveal the Fog of War, or will we see 2-3 hex away?
You see a few hexes away.
Yeah.
It removes the Fog of War progressively, but I think we've been a bit more aggressive now to reveal 2 hexes around. But I'm not sure.
Right now it's 1, but that's because it's an old build.
It's an old build.
Actually, it's a good point. When you're hovering on any X, you have actually 2 kinds of feedback. One that is telling you that you can go, and one that is telling you that you cannot go. So the string,
because there's a barrier or
a
gap or river blocking the movement.
Okay, let's see. Do we have downtime systems like crafting, researching contact that ties to the new overworld, like combining all those random pickups into usual things, or is progression still only quest centric? So on this one, I think I can help because we did talk quite a bit in the design section. There will be some like activities like crafting, but it won't necessarily be tied to traveling. So I won't go into further details because there's a lot of things we haven't revealed yet. So yes, there will be crafting. It will be slightly different from Solasta 1 that we have already announced. But right now we haven't planned to implement like tour de garde or whatever, right? Like it's mostly like exploration, but you won't be having like Pathfinder when you're doing long rest. Like someone is doing crafting, someone is doing like cooking, someone is doing like checking for enemies. These things we're not planning to do. Will co-op be available in the early access, Pierre?
Aha. What I can tell you is not at release, but it's something that we are already working on. It's really something that we want to get right during early access. So we cannot tell you when it's going to be available, but it's part of the plans to make it available before 1.0. So that means during early access. So bear with us on this one. It's already a huge step forward compared to Solasta 1 when, for the ones that do not know because they weren't there at the time, on the first game we're only able to release online co-op after the release of the
1 year after the release.
Yeah, of the 1.0 release. Yeah. So this time around, we understood that it was super important. We love that feature. We want to make it work as quickly as possible. So yes, during early access is something that we can already tell you today.
And I think I will go with another question for you. Will there be console versions soon after the official release?
When you mean, okay, I'm going to try to translate what official release mean. If you're telling 1.0 release, so the full game release, I can already tell you that it's how we see it. So that means, no, there won't be any consoles available during early access. That's not possible for us. We really want to make sure that we focus on early access and keep on iterating on what the final game is going to be on PC. But by 1.0 release, we want to make sure that consoles are ready as soon as possible. So either at 1.0 or right after, but it's probably too early to say, but it's what we have in mind.
Just looking at the party, sorry.
You will love it.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm going through the questions. Yeah, so I see some people saying, the text at the end country doesn't sound right. It is normal. Like I said, right now, this is a playground. So a lot of the things that you'll see are placeholder. It's like things we've written ourselves. And we're not like native English speakers. So we know that there's going to be needing, like, our writers actually need to go through and just like, fix that and all that kind of thing. So don't worry about that. It is normal. Some events don't make any sense. Like sometimes you say, yes, you suddenly receive like a food ration. It's like, there's no reason for that. Okay, looking forward to the weapon masteries. Okay, what modding tools are planned to be implemented? Is there a chance we could create our own world map? I think we've already said.
Again, we cannot commit to having community creation tools for the early access. Surely we don't have time because it's a huge project. We have lots of stuff to do. For Open War, again, we cannot guarantee it, even though it's something which is very important for me. Again, that being said, the tools we've built for the world map, we did not burn any bridges, and it's you see how simple it is to use. It's the goal, if we can, to make it available. And also the world events, it's a very simple editor where you say, okay, how many answers, this answer is blocked by this condition, etc. And then it's just text that you set in. So again, super easy to create, but there's other elements of complexity for the modding that we have not solved yet. We don't know if we can make it and when. So again, not guaranteed.
To summarize, we cannot promise anything, but what has been developed has kept the door open to modding, which is the point. It's like
we want to find a way.
We want to find a way. It's just, are we going to have the time? Are we going to have the the manpower for that? but at least we have the will. We wish to do that.
Everyone at the studio was truly humbled by the creativity of the players on the first team.
Oh yeah, we had like custom maps. If you haven't played, by the way, if you only did like the official campaigns, Solasta 1, there's a lot of really, really great campaigns. And, Mathieu have even played some with her friends. I've played one like during my vacation on my Steam Deck and, all those kind of things. And it's really crazy to see a game we've made be taken by someone else, like revamped completely with the tools that we made and make an absolutely insane experience. So I see. Okay, so that might be a little bit too early. Like, will Rangers get animal companions? We don't have Rangers in the early access. So, in the launch of early access. So for a reminder, early access has 6 classes at launch, which is fighter, rogue, wizard, cleric, paladin, and sorcerer. And the idea is that when we do updates during the early access, we slowly add all the remaining characters, right? So I cannot tell you yet, but maybe Mathieu already has some he wants to add first, but we'll see how it goes.
I have no... actually, there's a wizard in the start.
Yeah, you already have the wizard, so you're already fine.
Because that's my main class. For the rest, I don't know. Sometimes you think, okay, I'm going to do all the natural spells oriented, because once it's done, I can do ranger and druid. But then the druid can shape change, so it's a nightmare. We have to fix. So anyway, I don't know yet, but we've learned a bit with the new tool how to make classes, understand the complexity, and make it work. So maybe something which seemed very complex will be easy, and the opposite in the end.
And it's something that we've done in the past, but if we have to choose between class X and class Y, because of the timing, we cannot do everything at once. If we need to choose, maybe we can also
sometimes
think of involving the community to sort of help us making that choice.
We've done that in the past, as you know, like when we need to prioritize, and we are like, there's those 2 options that are both viable. We just want to know like which one people want the most. Sometimes we do like surveys like this. Just so you know, whenever we talk about one class, there's always going to be something complicated, right? So like Mathieu said, druids mean you have shapeshift. Rangers, if you do animal companion, it's like, suddenly you have a pet that you need to control. And then you say, okay, but maybe the monk, right? But then the monk has a lot of hand-to-hand animation that we didn't have before, so we need to also add the animators to do that kind of thing. So there's a basically you take one class and you're like, oh, this is the easiest one, and then you lift the veil and you're like, oh, never mind, and you just put it down again. And you're like, okay,
anyway.
So always going to be a lot of work. I see. Is there going to be a developer supporter bundle, just like the first game? Yes, we're going to do a supporter pack. So just as usual, just for those who don't know about the supporter pack in Solasta 1, we've been very clear about it. You don't buy the supporter pack for its value. It is usually stuff like, hey, a bunch of cosmetic, and it's just if you want to give us a little bit more money so that we can have more budget working on. It is not necessary. You can have the full experience without ever buying it, so don't feel forced to buy it. You're not missing on anything. Will there be death saves? Yes, right?
It's implemented already.
Yeah, death save is part of the game, so...
We had a discussion yesterday about having death saves for everyone.
Yes.
For heroes or companion as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people are going to be shocked by the fact that companions in the game could have death saves. But again, you get attached to them, so it's natural to give them a second chance. I don't know, as a GM when I was game mastering. Companions would not have a second chance, but and sometimes it was a bit sad. So anyway, it's part of the discussion. We have to fine-tune the game and the balance and the experience.
It's part of the thrill. It's part of the tacticality as well. You just want to make sure that you protect everyone.
So there's discussions like this, as you can see, because rule as written, NPCs don't get death saves. So we thought about the players being like, I got attached to my friendo here, so I don't want him to just get a crit and die immediately. So this is the start of things that during early access, when you play, you can also let us know what you think. So it could be just a setting going forward, in the options later on, say, do I want death save for my companions, or do they get the NPC treatment, which is instant death? So you'll see those kind of things. I see a question here that is saying, "Oh God, is the story time gated?" I don't think so, right? It's just that you can do forced march to get faster to locations,
Yes.
but there might be some things that is time gated. I'm not sure. I know that we have toyed with the idea. I cannot say if we have for sure.
It's not going to be in the early access anyway.
It's not, yeah. So first, early access, there's not going to be any of that. And second, the story itself, I think, won't be time gated because we've talked about this and we've entertained the idea, of like a creeping, a kind of like creeping sense of danger or whatever. But we also thought about people who don't want to feel like they've wasted their time and they're like, oh, it's too late. This is game over, right? Okay, let's see. Please add Iron Man mode like in Solasta 1. We'll probably do that at
We'll
like
think
1.0.
about it.
Yeah,
Yes, of course we will. We'll try to find a way.
It's like Iron Man mode, just so you know, never during early access, because during early access there's just so many things that could break that you are going to like lose your save to something very stupid. So that is not something we want to do. One of the biggest thing we keep on telling people when they have like an issue in early access is just save, reload. Usually there's a lot of like script that can be fixed by just doing that. So let's see. Has character customization changed or improved from 1? I think we can say yes.
Yes, it's
a lot.
very different. Many more options. Better looking characters. That's for sure. Even though it's a very complex system with all the possibilities and combinations. We do mixings of character faces, but you're going to see that when discover the game.
It's something that we wanted to communicate on.
Yes, later.
We're going to already say. No, that's cool. That's cool.
This is
just the very short answer is yes, drastically. But if you want to shed a bit,
Just to say that we did not choose the easy option for characterization. Also, more on the philosophy of the game. We want to open to as many audiences as possible. So there's a means to do an easy and quick creation of a character if you just want to select some basic elements, and then an advanced one for the big fans who want to have all the details. Obviously, it's double the amount of work for us, but I think it's interesting because some people who don't have the courage to build a full party with all the details can go faster. Or maybe possibly you want to have one of your characters finally designed, and then the rest you want to go faster to generate them. So there's a lot of options to speed that up and to get into the detail if you want. And obviously, visual customization of the character, it's something we have with many options. And we're still going to add more after the early access.
I was toying with the idea earlier today to show you guys the main menu screen because it changed quite a bit before we showed you this world map, but we decided that it was still too much work in progress, and there's a lot of things we don't really want to talk yet about, so we didn't show it in the end. We'll show you that later down the line, and we'll have plenty of things to talk about. I see a question about, will there be ship movement? Like, can we go on the sea, or is this going to be just land movement?
No, not for the early access, and I don't think for 1.0.
Yeah.
But then it's for the future. After the game release, maybe we can add that later on. Yeah, there will be maybe teleportation like we did in Solasta 1, but ships not yet.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's nothing which prevents the hex editor to have several islands and connect them with the ships later on. So you can be completely free to do that.
Okay, let me see if there's any question we can actually answer. Because there's a lot of things. Please add weather, it's lovely. XP is quest related. Can we do random combat? So random combat still give XP. Events, some events do give XP, but a lot of it also comes from quests, right? Because we want people to not just grind, and I mean you can grind, but it's the quest should also give a lot of XP. The preview of the map has me excited. I might buy the game twice. Thank you. Just gift it to a friend or someone else. Buy it twice for yourself. I'm curious about grappling. Grappling will never be added. That's for sure.
It's too complex in terms of animations, or it would look funny to have the character grapple, but not seeing the vines or tentacles around him.
The thing we always say about the grappling is there's a reason why even BG3 haven't done it, is because like you have to imagine that you would need to have animation that's specific to every type of creature. Like you would need to grapple a beast differently than you grapple a human or what happened if you try to grapple a golem? Do you like grapple the leg or something? There's a lot of things that make it very complex, so we are not going to do that. There were in Solasta 1 some creatures that could grapple you, but not like it's. So for example, we had like the swamp, or what was the name again?
The Shambling Mount.
The Shambling Mount, yeah, Shambling Mount, who could like eat you. So they could grapple you, but that's like very specific. So it's only one animation. It is the monster grappling the human, not the human grappling the monster back. Let's see. Will it still be possible to shoot lightning bolts through walls, or will AOE spells now like be blocked by walls?
Maybe not in early access, but it's still in the pipe of what engineers should do to make sure that we have a logic for that.
Yes.
But it's not trivial.
Yeah, it's not ready, but it's something we want to do.
It's a different complexity from Solasta 1 because we don't have the same topology at all, but it's still complex. So we'll see.
So just so you know, we want to do it. For this one, we have seen it quite a lot in Solasta 1 with people saying, hey, it is a tactical game. I should be, if I'm in cover, I shouldn't get hit by the lightning through the wall. We agree with that. So in Solasta 1, a bit complex because of the technology we're using. But in Solasta 2, right now it is not in yet, but also we're limited early access to level 4, so you won't have lightning bolts anyway. But it is something we want to do, so that you don't get zapped through the wall. Okay, so I actually answered the question that was right after, which was what will be the level cap in early access. Can we please give magic users some more cloth? We will have some magic, robes, but not in early access, at least not at launch.
There's a default robe for the wizard.
Yeah, the wizard have different robes than the sorcerer.
But you mean magical robes?
I think they want just to have like more visual options, because technically, if you play a fighter, you could put any type of armor, but yeah.
There's a possibility right now, I don't know if you're going to stay to change maybe some elements of the clothing, but we'll see what we have in 1.0. Anyway, we have stuff like that in the plans for 1.0, maybe not all in early access.
Yeah. Okay, so I do have a few people telling that unfortunately there's still a bit of echo because I talk too loud. But that's sorry. We're trying something with 2 microphones because like the one microphone setup last time, people were saying that there was too much echo, like we were kind of like in a kitchen or something. So hopefully that is not too distracting. I'm sorry. I know I'm talking very loudly, which is why that happens. Let's see. Is verticality dealt differently?
It's done differently because we don't have the same topology in the game engine. We used to have cubes in Solasta 1. It's no longer the case here with the engine simulation, but still we try to make the most of verticality, even designing the arenas in a specific way that it's interesting. So it's different, but it's still there. It's still part of the game experience.
I'm just scrolling through the questions because I realized I was talking about questions like 10 minutes ago. So probably some people are asking stuff and I'm missing it. There's a discussion going on in the chat. Whoa, what the hell? Let's see. Oh, I see a lot of people talking about the adopted party members and how like elves and dwarves and humans don't have the same. So guys, right now about this, it's just go with the flow. It's magic. Don't worry about it. All right, like don't argue. It's okay. It's fine. We don't need to debate about that. Will there be a possibility to speed up the game? Sometimes I want to see character move faster from point A to point B.
Are we speaking about the world map or the once you're inside a location like you played in the demo?
So inside a location, I think we have a solution to that, right?
Yeah, the local map allows you to transport rapidly to some points.
Yeah. So like in Solasta 1, we had like checkpoints, and when you unlock them, you can click and your character just zooms back to the checkpoint. For the
world map, we, as I was saying, we may have teleporters in the future. So could be a faster way to travel.
Also, I see that right now we have like, if I want to go there, I cannot like tell my party to just auto path to there. Is that going to be something we want to do,
it's
or
in the plans? But
okay, it's in the plan. So it's as you know, guys. You know, a lot of things we want to do. It's going to take some time. Is there any planned release DLC for another campaign? That is a bit far, right, Pierre?
Yeah, DLC means we've already released the early access, and then we already released the updates of the early access, and then we released the 1.0 version of the game. But like a way to see it is we have a lot of stories to tell around the world of Solasta, and especially around the second game. So yes, if we are capable of creating additional stories, yes, there will be additional DLCs.
And also we spent a lot of time on building all the tech and tools and data, so it would be sad to let it go to waste with no follow-up, but obviously it will depend on how the game works and what you expect in terms of additional content.
Yeah, if the community is strongly requesting additional content to be created, yes, of course, we'll answer that.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So I think we've shown quite a bit of the world map. We've shown quite a bit of everything. I'm just gonna like move a little bit more. Oof. Okay, immediately I get hit with an event.
Oh my god. There's an immense statue.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna just steer away so that we don't get like into combat. But as you can imagine, so as you can see, the build is still very much not optimized right now because we waited too long. I think the game is kind of dying. So sorry, I should not click. So I'm just showing you different little scenes, as you can see.
That contain placeholder in it.
That contains placeholder and people just sitting into air. But I think this character right there in the background is actually like, you know, properly placed. But otherwise, yeah, they're just doing things. So yeah. okay. So yeah, I'm gonna stop clicking because I see that the more I click right now, the more the build is like kind of like heating up. So yeah. Levitation confirmed. Well, in the future, we'll have
first
flight.
you have to make the features.
Yeah.
Then you have to make them look good.
And then you
have to optimize them to make sure they don't make you crash the games.
Exactly.
We're at this stage.
How big is each local map? I think you're talking about location when you go into them. It will vary. Like the Karamar is very large. The city, there are locations that are like more like small encounters. There's like random encounters map where it's more like one combat. And there's like usually something like, you know, All Sickles Building or Sentinel will have a little bit more because there's like lore inside the thing. And yes, the levitation confirmed because in the future we'll have flight. That's something we said. Not in our early access launch, but we've always wanted to add flight again.
Well, the level cap will not allow.
Yeah, at the moment, no. Spam click the game will crash the game, understood. Yes, at the moment, probably. If I was to spam click, I would probably crash something. I have a question regarding shooting over cover. Some games you can't shoot over 40 centimeter fence because it's cover. Will we be able to like have? I think Karim actually added some leniency on that. Like when you're halfling.
Our leading
Oh, so yeah, it's our technical director. So he like basically when you're a halfling, you're like, you know, very small. So sometimes you cannot really see over cover. But I think he did add some leniency, so you could still shoot.
I wouldn't.
It depends. I don't remember,
Okay.
but I think they did some things. Spam click to escape total party wipe in Iron Man mode by crashing. You never save. Will there be an early action for Mac OS? I think we did say that we are not going to do Mac this time. So a very, very simple reason for that, and let's be honest, is we have done Mac version in Solasta 1, and let's say just that the number of cells were very, very, very low on Mac, so it's just not worth the... It's a lot of effort, basically, to make Mac work, and also, it's not only making it work once, it's maintaining it whenever there's updates, whenever there's like things about crossplay, whatever. It's like very, very difficult for us because we're also we don't have Macs at the studio, so we had to like, you know, buy specific machines to make sure that, you know, we can test it, we can, you know, build. It's very difficult. So sorry, Mac players, but probably not this time. Oh, so someone says, I would like to formally request the ability in early access to edit character appearance, not just stats. I'll create a character and then realize the visuals look better on a different character I wish I just could edit the character, like, so basically just change a character's face after creating it. I don't think we can, right? Right now when we create a character, it's like the character's done.
So we've thought of respecing, so
Yes.
changing the classes, etc. of the character.
The stats and all that kind of thing.
We thought of maybe being able to go to a barber or something like that, but the full appearance, I don't know, why not?
Yeah. So at the moment, not planned. We do have like you said, respec planned because, as you know, Solasta 2 will have multi-classing. So that means you can easily screw up your build if you're not very, very D&D savvy, which is fine. It's like a lot of things. Like I've made my fair share of terrible characters and realized they're not going to go anywhere. But for the visuals, not yet. I see a funny question. Will there be more bickering between the characters in Solasta 1? I think yes, right? It's a family.
It's pretty much the tone that we want to keep.
Yes. So as you know, brothers and sisters like to rib off each other very often when they're kind of close, and our party is kind of close. I see a question about tides. Will there be mechanics about high tides, low tides with the water?
Not for now.
Not for the moment, not for early access, but I do remember that one of the design for one of the location will include that if it works.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
but
yes.
Not
Not
at
in
the
early
wall,
access launch,
not at the
yes.
wall map level. That's what I
No,
meant.
yeah, true.
I don't
Sorry,
know, the
not at the
location.
war map. You're right.
Yes, sorry, but for the location, it's a different animal.
Yeah, it's something that you've experienced in the demo.
Yeah.
So it's something that we've toyed around with.
Okay.
So yeah, something that we want to sort of try to find a way to keep in the final game.
And no, there will not be withers in Solasta. Withers is not part of the world of Solasta, and I'm pretty sure we would get sued if we added withers, especially if we added him with big naturals. So withers, if you don't know, it's if you don't remember, it's the kind of like the undead in BG3 at your camp that allows respecking, and people love him because he's just lovely. He's lovely.
Cobalt.
Okay. Let's see. No. The game will not be out on Mac. Sorry, because I see someone getting confused. It's not on Mac for early access, and it's probably not going to be on Mac on 1.0 either. We don't want to give like false hope on that one. Let's see. Do you plan on sticking on the same thing of the first game in regard to subclasses, 2 PHB classes? 2 PHB subclass, 2 homebrew. No, for now we're just planning for 2 subclasses. So 1 homebrew from Solasta 1, so from COTM, and 1 new one. So if you're wondering why less subclasses, it's because first of all, if you remember, 4 subclasses was after 3 years of support with DLCs. Yeah. So right now we're early access.
And also we prioritized the fact of having all 12 main classes
exactly.
for 1.0 instead of having more subclasses.
So if you remember in Solasta 1 at 1.0 we had 6 classes with 1 extra one coming after, so 7. The goal here would be to have less subclasses, but all the classes, if possible. Again, that's what we're aiming for, but we are never, if something happens and we don't have the time, we'll have to release without all the 12 subclasses. But hopefully we want that to happen. What races for now are confirmed on the early access release? 4 of them, right?
Yes.
We have human, elves, dwarves, halflings, the classic crew. Hopefully we can add more for 1.0. So I know like a lot of people like the Dragonborn. We also know that a lot of people
Tieflings.
like Tiefling, half elves as well, even though it's not technically D&D 2024. It's something that you guys have said in the survey that you really, really enjoyed. So probably
we'll find a way.
Yeah, we might be able to find a way to adjust the visuals to have them. And I think that's all the questions I see. Oh, will the game be optimized on Steam Deck? That's
Well, actually, you've played the demo. Some of you may have played it with a gamepad, so I guess it's part of the measures we took at the start of the project is to include the gamepad, the controls, not only for console but also for devices like the Steam Deck. So it was really important that the experience is smooth and natural. And that being said, yes, we work a lot on the optimizations. Maybe it doesn't show yet on this build for
of course,
going from event to event. But the idea is to make the game run on the smaller specs, and well, Steam Deck, it's a great device, but it was released a few years ago now, and obviously it's not as fast as the latest gaming rigs. But it's still a great device, and we want to try to optimize to make it run smoothly.
Yeah.
Is it going to be optimized enough for early access? I don't know. But
I think one thing that Karim, our technical director, told me was that we wanted it to be playable on early access and optimized in 1.0, so that in 1.0 when you launch the game, it has like this little mac around saying that yes, it is Steam Deck compatible. And the experience is not like 15 FPS, I want to die kind of like game.
But the game already runs on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, it is possible to play it now.
Right now, but it's not fast enough yet.
It's not. Yes, we did release about console release. We want to aim for 1.0. Is there any talk about mounts or mounted combat? No, right?
But
mounted combat. No. So that's a little bit. If you play D&D, you know that even on tabletop, mounted combat is a kind of worm. It's like, I want to play, and then my horse plays, or the horse plays before me, and I move on. It's a lot of like complex things, and for us, we don't have like the. So how frequently should we be expected to be ambushed by several adult dragon and random encounters? Just wanted to make sure we're tuning into the authentic Solasta feel in mind. So I actually mea culpa, the twin dragon encounter was actually something of my doing that I added, because like some people were like random encounters, there's not a lot of variety, so I added more, and then we said, oh well, obviously because they are CR7 or something, then if you're like level 8 or 9 you could probably handle that. But the problem was random encounter could happen when you were sleeping, and if you can imagine two dragons getting the jump on you while you were asleep and just double breathing on your party, just game over. So yeah, that was my problem. Can you hire mounts for travel on the map to carry additional weight and to move faster?
It's not in the.
It's not planned, right? Yeah. Let's see. Will different races have different reaction and dialogues in the future? I think that's a bit too much work, right? We don't have the manpower for that. I know that Xavier have put more dialogues option depending on the classes sometimes, or the
background.
Or the background. No, not the background.
The personality.
The personality.
I guess it would make sense, but I don't see it as a repeatable pattern that you will have along the game. But maybe there will be some exceptions.
I think what's to take from that is it's probably possible, but it's like, do we have the manpower to do all those extra events? Not necessarily possible.
I would say that internally in the game, a character has lots of tags, like qualifications. I'm an elf, I'm a fighter, this and that, and then the dialogue cutscene system can detect which character does have this tag, then I have this specific answer. But again, dispatching that all over the game, it's another type of work.
Okay, I got a question from someone here saying, hey, will the combat be based on cubes or free movement or hexagons? So I think combat is still tile-based, right?
Yeah, it's tile-based, square tiles.
Yeah.
Even though the movement is not as rectilinear or diagonal as in Solasta 2, it's a bit freer. This is why you have fragment moves in the combat, but yes, it's basically tiles. Again, for legibility reason, because it makes more sense to understand if you're going to trigger an attack of opportunity or not.
And actually, it's already available in the demo.
Yeah, true.
So there's no change compared to that.
So as you guys know, there's a demo right now on the Solasta 2 Steam page. You can download it. It doesn't have the 2024 rules, because back when we made the demo, the rules were not available, so we wouldn't be able to do it. But if you want to get a feel of what Solasta 2 kind of like will be like, there's a lot of upgrades that have been done, and actually I think we're going to remove the demo at some point, like when early access comes out, because it's like so far from what the game is nowadays that it's probably not a good representation anymore. So if you want to play it, it is because I know some people don't want to get spoiled and said I'm not going to play the demo because I don't want to get spoiled from the main campaign. The demo is a separate adventure, so you can play it safely without getting spoiled, because it is not part of the main game. You will not see you might see the location being reused, but the story itself will not be part of the main game. Okay, I see. Can we play in Evil Aligned campaign party? No. We've already talked about it.
There's not really alignments, I think, nowadays.
Yes,
it's
but we can't really play evil characters.
It's, again, we don't have the time and the means to make all these possible answers and accommodate that.
But without going into details, you'll be able to make choices
Yes.
with certain people
Yes.
in the game that probably have, less.
Yeah, it's not the greater good. Yes, I mean, like just like Pierre said, you can align with some of the factions because there will be factions. Some factions are, let's say, less friendly than others. But yes, that's the extent of it, right? You can associate with evil. You can't really be evil yourself.
I think we had the experience in Solasta 1 of 3 different ways of making campaign, like COTM and the Lost Valley and Palace of Ice.
Yeah.
And Lost Valley was an experiment in having different factions and in more free-form decision making where you want to ally with that. And I guess I'm not going to spoil anything, but we've learned all the lessons of the 3 main campaigns and integrated that into Solasta 2.
Will there be pre-access on Xbox? No. Consoles are 1.0.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the answer is no.
Yeah.
There won't be any pre-access on consoles.
Will we be able to alter clothing colors?
It's possible.
It's possible, but it's not.
Not sure it's going to be fully unlocked for early access or not, but it's part of the possibilities we have. Now we have to try to find the right way to open it to the users.
Can the party size be increased from 4 to maybe 5 or 6? So we already talked about that. The narratives of Solasta is a party of 4. That's even within the story. It doesn't we wouldn't work with 5 or 6 because the story isn't written that way. But we know that a lot of people have asked that in the past. So Solasta 2, what we have is
companions.
Exactly, and not only companions like we've seen in Lost Valley. That's like the guy level 1 that just keeps on being level 1, and some people try to keep him alive for very long. I know Cole Carnage did and was very sad when he finally passed away. But yes, this time the companions, they do level up. They have their own skill set, their own spells, powers, and all. You cannot you cannot level them up like if they were a playable character. You cannot change their inventory. But they are not like a dead weight just following you around. They have their own power. How big is the early access? How long is it? Roughly.
Well, that's actually, it's a very hard question. Why? Because there are a lot of things that can change that playtime. If you want to take your time, if you want to explore the map, if you want to create 1, 2, 3, 4 characters on your own, you want to spend hours to
if you want to 5 minutes for every decision in combat, for example, it's going to take more time. So
we've seen a lot of variants because some people like me know the rules very well and we just go breathe through encounters. Some people really need to okay, so how does that work? I've created a sorcerer, never played sorcerer. Okay, so meta magic works like this. So we've seen a lot of people take their time, and that can really lengthen the game as well.
But if you want to have a sense of what's the storyline length? If I just want go to a straight line and don't bother with any secondary requests or whatever, I think it's fair to say that if you're super efficient, you could go up to 8 to 10 hours, but then that's for one run. That's without testing a lot of things. That's probably without multi-classing. There's a lot of things that come into play. But that's the bare minimum, or that's the rounded numbers that you can
for early access, right?
For early access, absolutely. That's for early
access. For the main game, I think we always try to go for 40 hours, something like that, which was always the aim for Solasta 1 as well. Okay, let's see. All right. Can each player get their own companion? No, you're not gonna have 8 people in the party because each player has their own companion. No, you're probably gonna have I think at most 2 companions at the same time. Yeah. So at most you're gonna be a party of 6.
It's group companions.
Are voice-over languages planned in the future or only English? Only English.
That's a very good question. Actually, it's because we're an RPG, it still has a strong story. There are a lot of lines. So what we want to focus on is localization, as in text localization, subtitles, menus, so on and so forth. But when it comes to VO, it's an art in itself. It's huge volume of text. So we want to make sure that the English is done right and it's subtitled the right way in as many languages as we can have the capacity to do.
And we stick to the same principle that in the dialogues and cutscenes, everything is voiced.
Yeah, so
there's
it's
no
a
text
lot
to
of
read.
voice.
Even when your character are speaking, it's voiced. The only difference is on the world map. For now, we're not planning voices on the random events. Again, because we want to be able to generate lots of them without having to wait for the voices to be ready.
Yeah. I see will we be able to resurrect companions if they die? That's also to be questioned, right? It's like,
I think so. I think it's doable if it's not the case, if it's really needed. But again, death saving throws on companions is going to go a long way into making them more survivable. So it's a first step, I would say.
Okay, I see someone asking, can you please send the alpha beta to Wolfheart FPS for testing? Don't worry, Wolfheart FPS is a known name to us. When the early access comes around, he will get probably access earlier so that he can try it out and make videos. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna leave him out to dry. Let's see. So we're just gonna take a few more questions, and I think we're gonna end for today because we've talked quite a lot. We've shown you the world map. I'm just gonna also put back the. I'm gonna put back the. Oops, that's not the right tab. I'm gonna put back the other video here, which was the little engine video, so people who didn't see it can see it. At the moment, I'm showing the Unreal editor. Yeah. So for those who missed it, just as a recap, this is a video of Mathieu just creating a world map very quickly in the engine, in the tool that we have developed, and then usually this will immediately afterwards get transposed into what you see on the screen. Sorry, you don't see that because I changed it. But what you saw on the screen, the world map you saw, because from those tiles are procedurally generated a visual that makes it so that you can easily edit the world map and change, biomes around, towns around, and stuff like that.
And the connections and the path.
Exactly, the connection, the rivers and all that kind of thing. I see. Can we add Spanish VO? So we already said that we would add Spanish localization, but like we said earlier, VO we are not putting any other VO than English. We just don't have the money for that. It's way too expensive. Let's see. All right. So, what influenced the world cultures of Solasta? I see Care being Welsh, Kapunki being Finnish. Is there a set convention with naming things, or is what sounds good? I don't have the answer. I think it would be.
I don't know.
I think we would have to ask our writers, right?
Well, the Caer reference, it means castle in Celtic language. So I guess it's one of the references, but I'm not sure I can go into.
It was the case in the first game, and it's true that we're still in the same world, the world of Solasta. So we want to maintain a consistency between the two games.
And this Karamor is also because it's
close to the sea.
No, it's because it's from the. No, I was going to say Beacon, but no, it's the Manakawan Empire that created the city. So they have the same naming convention. But you'll see that there's a lot of new town afterwards that are not made by Manakawan, and they have very different names as well. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it here. I'm just going to take a few more questions, maybe one or two. So. Thank you everyone for being here today. Thank you all for asking your questions. I hope you guys are as excited as we are coming into soon 2026 and then soon early access. Like we said, we're going to have more to show you in the coming month. So keep an eye out there. And also in the community streams, I will start to show and play the actual game. I will not be showing I don't want to spoil anything, so we're not going to be going through the quests, but we'll show you a few things like a random encounter, some combat, those kind of things. Maybe the city as well. Okay. So, yeah.
Any last words?
Mathieu, do you want to say anything to the community?
Thank you for joining us. Very excited for you to play the final game. It's still a lot of work for us to complete before it's available, but we'll do our best.
All right. What about you, Pierre?
Oh,
any words for our
I
players?
was just super excited to be here and answer all the questions. Keep asking them, actually, or join the Discord. Make sure that you join the conversation there. We really want to make the game with you guys, so yeah, stick with us.
Absolutely. I think you said everything I wanted to say. It's been a very, very big pleasure to host a stream for you today. We are probably not going to host an extra stream during November because we usually do one a month. So this one is a bit early. So the next stream will probably be around December. But you know that you can always find me on Discord, and we have like a lot of veterans here in Discord as well who they've been helping us a lot. So when you have questions, they probably have the answer, and if they don't, they usually ping me. So again, if you have questions about Solasta 2, Discord is the easiest way for you to get an answer.
And your name on Discord is
Mizrib. Yeah, Mizrib. So, well, that's it for us today. Clear Skies Adventures.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, minutes? End screen.